is the PNWild Podcast, fueled by Wild Society. Remember to use coupon code PNWild when checking out from wildsociettyoutdoors.com.
You think it's actually sugar-free?
Taste it and tell them it is, Bob.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Take my word for it.
I don't want caffeine at 6 o'clock.
Oh, I can go to sleep, no problem.
Me too.
Wow, that's bright.
You're the star.
Yeah.
Front and center.
Yeah.
Yeah, so last time we filmed our first podcast, we're actually behind the camera.
Mm-hmm.
We switched it up, and we're doing our little review table now.
Yeah.
We're sick of bumping knees underneath the table. We wanted a little more space.
Way more room over here,
It
that's
was
for sure.
a little tight.
Yeah. Hopefully it looks better too.
Yeah. That's more room. You can actually set up some stuff around here, so should look a little better.
Yeah, no product placement behind
Yeah,
us at all.
not brought to you by Vortex, All In, Aero Precision,
Zolio.
Zolio.
Yeah.
Can they see all that stuff behind me?
Yeah, they can see the whole wall.
Oh, cool.
Well, I can't see those two, some fans over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, only fans.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw that comment Bob was going.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what's today, boys?
Cinco de Mayo.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, May 5.
Yep. Monday, May 5th.
You guys been smashing turkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That pod came out today.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
That was a fun one. It's
Yeah.
always fun doing those ones driving back, like from a hunt or whatever.
Yeah.
And getting to talk about it again and relive the hunt all over again.
Still riding the high.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could tell we were just howling at the moon the whole way back.
It was fun.
Cracking rock stars. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a good one. Good weekend turkey hunting, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So I wanted to at least have a little bit of a segment in this week's episode about applying around the West.
Oh,
It's
boy.
something that we have more recently done, especially you and I, Bob. Like when we first started this thing, we barely applied for Washington.
Yeah, I know. And I just applied for Washington today. We just did a couple species in Idaho.
Yep.
So it's that time of year.
Yep, we just literally as the team sat down and applied for Idaho today. That deadline I think is June 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So make
got a
sure.
month.
Yeah, yeah. I think that is Washington and Idaho. And what is Utah still open right now? Or are they closed?
I don't know if they're closed
I'm
or
not
not.
sure.
Oregon's still open. I think
Oregon's
till
open.
May 14th in Oregon.
Yeah.
And
So there's still
then
some if you want to start
Wyoming.
building points.
Wyoming deer
Wyoming-
and
yep.
antelope.
Yep, you're right. Wyoming deer, elk, and antelope is still out there.
Not elk.
Sorry, deer, elk, and antelope is Idaho. Deer and antelope is Wyoming. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's hard to keep track. I have it printed out at work by my desk so I can just eyeball it and look at it. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts around the West.
Then Wyoming, you have until July, right, for deer and antelope?
No, June 1st, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Because
is that
the
points?
points open July 1st.
That's
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
They open July 1st through
Halloween.
October.
Yep. Yeah. So I think
so much to keep track
It
of.
is.
I know, yeah. And what I wanted to talk about really quick was just Idaho, and we were literally just doing it, and then we were talking about their system, and it's really cool to see how many applicants are applying for those specific units because you only get two. You can only apply for 2 units, and you have to pick deer, elk, and antelope, or sheep, goat, and moose. So they break it up so you don't have this huge congested pool like Washington has. Like when we apply for Washington moose, it's literally 18,000 people.
It's weird how Idaho can do their special permit process
So
well, and then their general tag process is so bad.
But it's switching.
It's switching,
Finally.
but still,
The last 3-4 seasons?
it's been so bad.
Yeah.
that direction.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But they nailed their special permit process.
Oh, yeah, dude. Their special permits are absolutely, in my opinion, they're awesome. Some of these units that we're applying for that seem like an amazing tag has 160 non-res applicants.
Mm-hmm.
The residents are huge, right?
Mhm.
You can see 2,000, 4,000 on some of those, but yeah, the non-residents, and then 10% goes to non-residents.
Yeah, 10% of the tag. So if you look at a unit that has 200 available tags,
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be 10 given or 20 given out for non-residents.
Non-res. Yeah. Yeah. Which is cool, but
It does suck, though, say they only give out 20 tags, and
Yeah.
we're 8 or 19, 20, 21, that 21th person isn't going to get the tag.
No, the whole party
Right.
doesn't get the tag.
Oh, I thought it was only the two people.
The whole party, baby.
Oh.
If you apply as a party in Idaho for special permits, they do not expand their overall tag allocation to accommodate an entire party.
Like Wyoming does.
Like Wyoming does. So like Bob was saying, if there's 20 tags available, there's a party of 3 of us, and one of our names gets drawn.
The whole party doesn't go.
The whole party
Okay, I
doesn't
thought
go.
just that one person could go.
it would be the whole party. Yeah.
The whole party gets booted. So
Which sucks because that really actually decreases your odds. If we're saying like 6%, no, it's more like, because now you have to worry that you're getting picked, 12, 13, 14 instead of 13, 14, 15, 16. So you got to get drawn in the right spot for you actually to get all 3 of you get tags.
Yeah, you're kind of decreasing the number of tags available if you're in a party.
That's right.
To find your actual true odds, you would have to decrease the number of people in your party by the tags and figure it out from there. But a general rule for like us doing that is like we're kind of shooting for the moon anyways. So it's like we look and we just make sure that there's enough tags because like there's some units that they only give out 2 non-resident tags.
Yeah,
so
especially for like deer.
Yeah, it's like we wouldn't even apply for that because there's no possible chance for us to get it. You know? So it's like, we find tags that there's enough to start with that we could draw, and then we just kind of shoot for the moon.
Yeah, like a majority of them are like within that 5% draw range, where still that's way better than Washington draw. It's like quality deer, you're still under 1%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I got, double-digit points.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's kind of pathetic, man.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
It's so bad, yeah. And like Bobby and I were texting today, he was applying for his Washington stuff, and we were just talking about like the quality system and the buck tags and stuff like that. And he goes, God, like I'm never gonna draw. And I was like, I literally drew last year, so it can happen. But it's like that's a good reminder. Like all of us sitting here have drawn something in Washington. Spring bear for you.
Well,
And then quality deer, quality elk, buck deer. We've all drawn some second deer stuff, some
Bull
cow
elk.
tags. Oh yeah, you've basically drawn the gamut almost now. Cow, bull, quality.
2017 for Zach was the year.
The year. Yeah. I literally just forget about the bull tag because it just wasn't like
It was
a
terrible.
pinnacle of a hunt, right?
Yeah,
So
it was
I
terrible.
forget about it.
Yeah.
But you don't know. Like
Nope.
and every time that we've drawn something in Washington, less that hunt, it's been a very like quality hunt.
It's been good. Yeah.
Your quality deer, your quality elk, my quality elk, and then that buck tag from last year has been amazing.
And then the spring bear hunts when we had them
Spring
were
bears.
awesome.
Yep.
Yes.
Even my cow hunt was fun.
Yeah, dude.
Like seeing elk and getting chances and stuff like that. It was still a good time.
Yeah. Something else, too, I wanted to touch on really quick. I know I'm the only one at the table that really has gotten into this so far, but it's the youth opportunity and the Washington youth stuff. I know you're right on the corner from it. Your girls are getting there. But the youth stuff, I applied the girls for it, and it's really cheap, too. So they have a reduced price. Like, I applied everything for them, and it was like $44 or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and because it's only, instead of $13 for us, for the oil stuff, it's like $3 for them. And then like maybe it's like 6 and 3 for the buck versus the quality, but it's like slash and half or if not more. But then they have opportunities too for like any buck. And so for the units that we go hunt modern, like I applied them for those like surrounding 3 units. I just applied them for any buck or any deer. So if they get that, then they could go shoot a spike or a 2-point in like our favorite spots, where like 2-point ridge, right?
That's cool.
Go slam.
And that just lasts till they're 16.
That's until they're 16, yeah. And like some of the moose, the cow moose, it says like average amount of points is like 3 for them to draw like the ewe, I think, and then there's the cow moose. They're like for as far as like the elk stuff go, I looked and there's not like great antlered stuff for them. But there's really good opportunity, like your unit for cow, they could get it with like
Which
2 or 3 points.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Antlered elk in Washington's hard.
Well, and then like realistically, like I was looking at like applying them for quality elk and quality deer and stuff, and I was like, that's not time. Like if they got shithouse lucky, I would be doing them a disservice because like they're not ready, right? So for like sheep and all that stuff, like anything other than youth, I didn't apply. I just got point saver and just started building them points because like lo and behold, they got their freaking sheep tag, and Raylan's 9. Like, I'd be like, get up here! You know?
Get out of the way!
Yeah. No, you smoked them!
Just kidding, we wouldn't do that.
No, never. But
seriously, though, we would.
No, I would not. Because you're like, taking that away from them when they're at 9, their once in a lifetime would be like a really shitty thing to do. Like, I want them to experience that when they'll remember it forever. Like, 9, she might remember it, but like, I just wasn't ready for it yet. So for like quality deer, quality elk, and like that kind of pressure, I didn't apply them. But for all the youth stuff, I absolutely submitted it because like, hey, you just never know. And especially for the deer stuff and for a cow, not saying that a 9-year-old could go do what you did, but screw it. Let's go give it a chance, for a weekend or something.
You can find different areas that a 9-year-old
totally
can hunt it in. Like where we went the morning before I killed.
Yeah.
100%. Anyone could have done that.
Yeah.
that was driving roads and glassing into like basically little clear cuts.
Little timber cuts, yeah.
So
that'd be perfect for a kid.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, and realistically, like it could have happened, but me and Zach stopped and talked to an old timer right there, and she like the cow because who spotted you?
Me, yeah, driving
out his window, and he's like, "There's elk right there," and we look up, and they're like 80 yards on the hill, just like eating. But then we stopped, and there was an old timer like parked down the road, like 50 yards, and then so I went out and talked to him, and I was like, "Hey, did you see those?" And he's like, "No," and I was like, "Zach, go get them."
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So then like the commotion happened, and then they picked their head up and moved off. But then we tried to get that old guy on, and it's like, "Hey, man, like." You're clearly sitting in your truck, and he was probably like 70.
Yeah.
And we know how many points I took. It's probably his last cow tag.
Yeah.
So then, like, we were like, hey, man, there's like 3 cows right there, and he just couldn't see them. And he was parked in front of them.
Yeah.
Like, straight up the hill from him, and he just wasn't looking or listening to the radio or whatever he was doing, but he just didn't. He could have had them for sure. But,
probably just happy to be out,
100%, man. Yeah, he's sitting in his truck.
Get an easy shot,
Yeah.
whatever.
Dude, we heard other people like pull up next to him when we kind of chased him up the hill, and we heard people stop, and they're like, "You see any more?" And he's just been sitting there every day, obviously, and he's just like, I almost got him last night, but they gave me the slip or whatever.
I just
it was.
hope we're still doing that shit at that age.
I'm sure
like
we
just
will.
out cruising roads and just doing what we love to do. And but no, that's fun. So the youth opportunity, there's a lot of cool stuff on there. So make sure, like that's why I was like kind of like I want them to get it now because Paisley's like not running out of time, but she's 11. So she might not draw like the moose and that kind of stuff, but dude, they might. So Raylan and, God forsake Branson, like he's 7. So he has a long time to start building points and draw stuff.
Yeah, they'll be ready for fall to hunt, but not like special permits this year.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it was pretty easy. I put them through Hunter's Ed and it was like 4 days of classroom, 3 hours. That was a busy week. But
that's a lot.
Yeah, well, like you make the sacrifices. It's a once in a lifetime you have to do that, right? It was just a really busy week. They had like practice and sports, and then going to Hunter's Ed and Mount Lake Terrace or something like that for 4 nights a week for 3 hours. It's like, oh, sorry, kids. Yeah, it was fun.
I'm just doing it the different way where it's like
online.
They give you the criteria, and you have 90 days to go through it, take a 75-question test, and then you got to go in and do your hands-on.
Your field,
So, it's just on your own pace, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
It just takes longer.
Totally, man. Yeah, you go to the class and like I was able to print their turkey tags like the day we left.
Yeah.
Like here's your email. Like they emailed it right away, and then I just took that into Coastal or Cabela's and like, hey, here's the certification number. Buy it, and they're like, okay, type it in. All right, turkey tags, please, and like we were able to walk out with them. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it was nice. But yeah, the application stuff. If you guys have kids or out there listening and you haven't applied them, if they're under the age of 16, make sure you guys are getting in on the youth stuff. It's pretty special, and their chances to draw their youth stuff is definitely greater than the general population pool.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, seeing like the cow tags going for 2 to 3 point averages, it's like, oh shit. That's crazy to see.
Yeah, I didn't start putting in for points till I was 25.
Yeah, I remember our first years doing it, and then we missed a couple years.
Yep.
It sucks, man. Because it's just like back then, we're like, oh, I don't care. I'm not going to draw.
Just didn't know.
Yeah. And then you look back and you're like, what I would do for 3 extra points right now,
Yeah, that's why I have a lot.
Yeah.
Because I started when I was 13, 14.
Yeah.
There was years I missed because I once I was an
and
adult,
species, right? Like, because you have way more moose than you do sheep and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, my dad and them never applied for sheep or goat because they were just like, you're never going to draw it anyways, like whatever. So I didn't do those. But like moose, I've always been doing. I've missed
Deer, elk.
Yeah, I've missed years when like I literally just couldn't afford it.
Totally. Like,
when I was a young adult and like on my own and having to buy my own stuff, it was
it's not
I had to pick and choose. And so there was years where I didn't apply for certain stuff and would only buy quality deer, or like stuff like that. But
dude, I was looking at my points, I think a year or two ago, even now, and I have one less. I had one less quality tag than I did buck tag. So I bet you it was points. And I bet you it was like back when I didn't know the difference. So I
or
felt
when
like
they first switched it and you didn't know. Yeah, when they first added that category.
So I emailed Fish and Game and I finally got like a reply and they're like, nope, like I have all the receipts here and you just bought I have one less quality than I did buck, which really pisses me off. I'd rather have it the other way around.
Obviously.
And then I was like, hey, there's no way I didn't buy the quality tag. And it was like, they were like, yeah, it was 2011 and you only bought the buck tag and not the quality. And I was like, fuck, I was probably just an idiot.
Yeah.
I didn't know the difference. But I tried to get that back. Keep going.
When did they add the buck tag?
They split it all. I don't know the year, but it used to just be deer, elk, antlerless deer, antlerless elk. Yeah. And then they made the categories of quality deer, quality elk, buck, bull, and then antlerless. And like when they split that up is like however many points you had for elk, you then got those same points for every category. So like because I had always been applying for antlerless elk tags forever with my dad and stuff. I had accumulated, let's say, 13 elk points, even though I was only applying for cow tags. And then they created the bull and quality.
And gave you 13 for all of it?
13 across the board. Because they couldn't go back and
there's no way.
Yeah. And so same thing with deer is like once they split that, you just got however many points you had for deer, you now had for all the categories.
It must have been like right when we met then, because you had 14 when I drew quality.
Yeah, it was probably a couple years maybe before that when they added those categories in. I was probably early 20s maybe in there.
Because the whole time me and you have been applying, so that was like 2012 I think when we started, and they've had all the categories, buck and quality and bull and that kind of stuff.
Well, I didn't start till 2015.
Oh, so I had a couple years on you then. Clearly, because I do have a couple extra points than you.
10.
You have 10 this year?
For all my majors.
I think I'm going in with 14. So I think I started in 11 then, for some of them. I think for like moose, I have 14 and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. It could be going in with 13 this year, but I think I saw 13 and then I would go in with 14.
Early 2000s is what ChatGPT tells me.
Interesting.
Is when the quality deer category emerged in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
I'm curious what they're going to do with our spring bear points.
Nothing.
I mean,
there's a chance we get it back.
I think we'll get it back.
If we get it back, I think they have to
continue.
Yes, because if you look like on your dashboard,
they're still there.
They're still there.
Yeah.
It's still like a category, so you can still see how many you have. So I think, that's something we haven't even got into yet is the commissioners and the appointments and all that stuff, and it's trending in the favor of us again.
100% it is.
And so, if we do our part and I think the coalition's done a good job of trying to advocate for thanking Governor Ferguson for doing the right thing.
Shout out to Bob for actually doing something
100%.
good.
Yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to, those commissioners getting involved, blah, blah, blah. All that kind of stuff is great. And if we can keep them on our side and keep this a science-based management practice, I think that there is a legitimate chance that we could get spring bear back. Maybe it doesn't all come back right away, but at least it could start trickling back.
Yeah.
And we could have at least maybe some opportunity or, we've always talked about what we think would be best in Washington would just be 2 bears statewide either season.
Yep.
And then it's you can kill 1 in the spring and 1 in the fall, or you can kill 2 in the fall, or whatever
just
it is.
Make it an over-the-counter spring from April 15th to May 15th. Make it easy. I don't give a shit. If that's what you want to do. Or April 15th or May 1st to June 1st. Something like that. Spread some hunters out but you're just allowed 2 bears whatever season you take them.
Yeah.
That would be incredible.
Mm-hmm. And we have the population to support that. And like I sent it in the group chat, is now it is illegal in Washington to shoot a sow with cubs. Shoot a sow
Did you see that?
Yeah, Zach sent it to me.
Yeah, shoot a sow with cubs or cubs.
Yeah, I support that 100%.
You can't kill cubs either.
Really?
Yeah. So it's both. It's now illegal.
What are they considering a cub?
I don't know. You'd have to look.
Probably a yearling.
Yeah, probably under a year old would be my guess.
Which
I'm all for it. But
I'm all for it, too.
I have no problem with shooting, not shooting a sow with a cub or shooting a yearling bear.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I mean, we already hunt states that have that rule in effect.
100%.
Idaho already has that rule in effect. I think Montana has that rule in effect. It's like we've always said, like, and especially if instituting that rule now helps us get a spring season back because it's now illegal. They can't use that argument anymore of like, oh, well, they're just killing sows with cubs and blah, blah, blah.
Because now you're just talking about poachers.
Yeah. And so, like, you literally can't. Which, for all you bear hunters in Washington now, be careful when you're going out this fall.
Because that kind of slipped through.
Yeah, do your due diligence when you see a bear.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, especially if you're Western Washington, thick country, you're going to need to make sure. Like, you're going to need to watch those bears and make sure that there's not a cub there, which is hard to do, but you have to do your part in this.
I got it on film. Like, Janie and I. Remember that one? When, like, she was, like, lined up on the gun, and they said, wait. There's something moving, and then out pops a cub. Like, that's how, and that wasn't big, tall.
It's very easy to do.
Especially when they're a freaking 12 inches tall.
Yeah, in the spring, it is hard. Like those ones in Montana that we saw, too.
Oh, my God.
On the road. Yeah. Like, those cubs were
playing.
Or that one with the blonde cub.
Oh, yeah. That was fall. That was in fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she had 3. And you didn't see him. We didn't see him for the first 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Who went after him?
Me and you.
I sat back
and did the white flag.
Yep.
Yep.
So, take your time if you're lined up on a bear, unless you're certain there's not cubs, because they could be hiding anywhere.
Yep. Yeah. It makes things a little bit more slow pace. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, if you see a bear, it's not just like turkey. Just
lay down and shoot it.
Yeah, lay down and shoot. You got to watch it for a minute, make sure.
Yep.
And that's good for us, like you said, the data, the science. Now it's all swinging back to us, and if we can maintain this and say, hey, we haven't been taking sows with cubs. It's actually been illegal since 2025, and 2027 is around the corner. We'd like, hey, let's get our spring bear back. We have a population, and realistically, not shooting sows with cubs is going to help the population, which I don't think it needs much help.
I don't think it needs much help either. But hey, if that's the information that they're looking for.
Totally.
And the other big one that they brought up is submitting teeth, which I've been terrible at.
Yeah,
I'll admit it. Like I'll forget, I'll miss it, whatever.
I've done it the last couple times.
Yep. And I've done it the last couple times too. But like previous to that, I never even thought about it.
Yeah.
But like that is a big component for them getting data and like having that science.
Do it before you freeze the heads, because I did one. I pulled it out of the freezer and let it thaw for a day, and it's still those bones. They take days to thaw out, and they'll break easier too. So just before you throw it in the freezer, get that premolar out.
Yeah. So all things to think about as we're prepping now for either guys going somewhere else for spring bear, or guys getting ready for fall bear, since it is that first season that kicks us off here in Washington.
I mean, we're like 3 months out. Mm-hmm. Like, it's May 5th right now. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't believe how fast it got here. But yeah, Zach and I would just spend a day over in our spot hanging cameras and learning the country and learning routes, and just like it's that time. Like, time to start scouting, and we got an exciting picture the other day. We just got the group chat all fired up. That was fun.
When we had a bear on our camera.
Day 1.
Yeah. So I mean, we just were on heavy game trails and shoot bear walking by first night that we had that camera out.
Yeah, that was insane.
So I mean, they're out and roaming around and back to being active and all that. It's just a matter of time. You're going to start to look at snow levels and setting that calendar and counting down those 8 weeks till berries.
Yep. Snow levels. Austin just texted us.
No. Nuts. Seems to be a lot of snow still in the high country.
Yeah, he just went out last weekend and said that at like 65 there was still hip height. He had to turn around. And I was like, bro, it's May. What are you thinking, man? Like,
well, that's like Chinook Pass. I was telling you, like Chinook Pass won't even open till Memorial Day or first week of June.
Yeah. What were you saying, Bob?
Made it to 6,200 feet. And the snow was up past his waist.
Dang. Yeah, he was trying to get in there early
Still
and
pretty high, though.
fix cameras and hang cameras and that kind of stuff. But it was funny. I was talking to Chris McCallum the other day, and he sent me a badass picture of a bear, like way up high. I think he's like 6,000 up. And the next day, it's like down to the ground and in the dirt. He's like, that camera's like 3 hours or 30 miles or something crazy. He's like, I'm not getting that camera until modern. Like, I can't fix it. The bear fucking ruined it before the deer even get up there. It was funny.
Yeah.
That was that badass picture of the chocolate coming up the ridge.
Sick picture.
That was a sick picture,
Very
dude.
cool.
Yeah.
And then, like, the next day or something, there's a doe, and you can just see its legs, and he's like, that bear ruined it. And it's a long hike, he said, so he was all pissed off about it.
They're good at doing that.
Dude, they just smell your hand, your oils from your hand or something.
Yep. And then they
Because
sniff
deer
it.
don't even freaking notice them.
Most of the time. We've had a couple that'll stare at them and stuff like that because they can hear like the clicking.
Yeah, the click, click.
Yep.
Yeah, but bears just want to go touch them and rip them off and lick them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll get a picture of just, like, eyes and ears of a bear, and you're just like, what are you doing, man? Leave it alone.
Yeah, it's funny.
It would be funny, like, to sabotage cameras with a bunch of peanut butter.
But then have another camera set up watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone hangs a camera in your spot, you just go get a jug of peanut butter and slap it on the top.
Guaranteed to get taken down.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That thing's coming down and going with a bear.
That would be funny.
Oh, so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, that's the applying around the West is kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit about, but it sounds like we've covered them. We're waiting on results from Colorado, Wyoming elk, and then what else we're waiting for? Utah, and then Idaho. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to iron out still.
Idaho, Washington, Oregon, Utah, Wyoming elk, and then Wyoming deer and antelope. We're going to do that. I mean, there's Colorado. Like, there's a lot still out there.
Yeah.
Waiting.
A lot of stuff. And then, sir, if you guys haven't applied yet, you still can apply for Idaho limited entry. You can still apply for Wyoming and deer elk or deer and antelope, and then you can build your points in July's in Wyoming. Like, that's a must.
And you can still apply for Oregon.
Oregon's open. Washington's open until May 28th. So you have several weeks to get those all submitted. And if you guys don't know how to submit those or don't know what you're doing, go watch our YouTube video, How to Hunt, and I walk through step by step on how to buy your stuff and apply them.
Yep.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Maybe we can shout that one out again tomorrow because it's application season.
Yeah.
We'll blast that.
And use GOHUNT for all your application.
Yeah. We just had that insider tab up while we were applying for Idaho and just bouncing back and forth. But it helps so much just looking at GOHUNT.
Yeah, I was just having this conversation when I was out shed hunting with a buddy the other day. He was asking me about GOHUNT, and I was like, dude, without it, like, legitimately, it would have taken so much longer to apply out of state because it's like so intimidating. It's like we were talking about. Every state is so freaking different.
Yeah.
But like GOHUNT, you can go on there and go to like that state's page, and it breaks it all down for you. Like what you need to do. Is this a state that you have to pay up front, or is this a state that you only have to pay the app fee, or X, Y, and Z? There's so many different variables that go into all of that. GOHUNT does make it super, super simple.
And like it shows the deadlines for everything.
Like pull up that state's regs and then go hunt side by side and just go back and forth.
Dude.
It's like you got it handled.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Did you do that with Washington?
Yeah.
Isn't it like disgusting to see the draw? It's so
Oh yeah. 0.01%. But I've been applying for 10 years.
Yeah.
In my home state.
In my
home state. Yeah.
Yeah. Washington system's bad.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people.
A lot of people, not a lot of tags.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
And we don't even have non-residents to compete against.
No.
Nobody wants to come
Yeah,
here.
no one wants to come here.
No.
Yeah.
No, and the odds for them
I
are
think the
so
people
bad.
that are applying out of state are the people that lived here for a long period of time. Like Gabriel.
Yep.
That was here for 20 years, has 20 points, and just can't, like, swallow Flushing Nose.
Yeah.
But I think, like, I talked to him last year, and I think he was like, I'm done. He's like, it's like $900 to buy everything and then apply. And he's just like, I just
No way.
It's not worth it anymore.
No.
But it's like, and he's like, I don't want to flush 23 years of points. But it's like, bro, they give 2 tags out for quality.
Yeah.
I can understand if you're like, they give out 65 for, whatever he applies for. And if they give out, a good amount of tags, it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, get your name in the hat. But 2
or 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of those, like especially
the one, like the blues,
the quality rifle elk tags, where it's like
the
a rut.
one I applied for today was 1 tag.
Yeah.
Said, screw it. I'm going to try it.
Well, yeah, Bobo.
Yeah,
let's go.
Could you imagine, though?
No, we'd have a hell of a time.
Like the mecca of elk hunting in the state.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Yeah. That would be incredible. Like Simone, like his uncle last year drew, I think, I don't know if it's public or not, but he drew a tag that has 2 tags. It's like, oh my gosh.
It can happen.
It can.
Yep.
You're saying there's a chance.
They're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't play, you'll never win.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Very true.
It's like the lotto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I don't play.
Nope.
And I just look at how much people are winning and I go, shit.
Yeah. You got to swing to hit the ball.
And I ain't swinging.
Hopefully he walks me.
Yeah, I'm taking my walk, boy. I ain't swinging to that curveball.
Or just slug me right here.
Yeah, just send one right off my ass. I'll just back it. All right.
Take your weights.
Yeah. I'll take the freebie.
Yeah. Yeah. What kind of big changes we got? Anything gear-wise that we're switching up, boys? Anything we're looking forward to using, changing up?
Plan on shooting a new rifle this year.
I know. I was just about to say that. Yep. Yeah. And a new optic for you, right?
Well, no. Took one off my old gun.
But have you hunted with that? I don't remember you hunting with that. I remember just Pat using that one.
No, I used it for Wyoming antelope.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, tell us about your setup, Bob. What is
the old discontinued Vortex Razor AMG 6-25?
Yeah, it's a big bitch.
It's a big scope, but it's really nice. And then I'm putting that on a Aero Precision long action 7 PRC, new Solus Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
So
what load you shooting, Babo?
The 180 grain Burger Hybrid Hunter. Yeah. And it's shooting at like 29 something.
Yeah, I ran into Austin today actually at work, and he's telling me about yours and the brake that he put on. He said he's really stoked on that thing.
Area 419.
Area 419. Yeah, he's pretty stoked on that. He said your gun shoots really, really well. That's good. I asked him about the recoil, and he's like, it's existent between mine and yours. He's like, if you blindfolded yourself, other than mine having a can, he's like, if you blindfolded yourself and just lay down and like pull the triggers, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, and the biggest reason I didn't want to go with the can, just the added length and weight.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine's like 15 ounces, I think.
Yeah, yours is big. I got a little one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're welcome, Jeff.
I laughed immediately.
Yeah. You're welcome.
We're mature.
Yeah.
We got to clip that and put that on social media.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We're all just children.
Yeah.
We just instantly laugh. Yeah. No, yours is like 8 ounces, right?
I think it's 7, yeah.
That's insane, man. Which one did you go with?
The Banish Backcountry.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 6 inches and 7 ounces, something like that.
Which is little.
Right.
That's nice, man.
That's not little. That's nice.
Wait a second. 6 inches is little.
Like average, right?
Holy shit. That's like about an average. That's an average silencer.
Thank you. I needed to hear that.
And it shoots heavy loads. All right, we're taking this too far. Anyways, so I don't know. I don't know what my brake weighs.
Oh shit!
It's lighter. It's lighter than your can.
Definitely, that's for sure. Yeah, and
cheaper.
It'll 100%. Yeah, cheaper.
Yeah,
I think and you could get it in a day. Mm-hmm. You don't have to wait. Do you have hands on yours?
No,
you're still waiting as well. How did your process go doing it online?
Still doing it.
Still going through it.
Explain when you get a minute. What is that
I can
process?
Go through. So
you have to put it into a trust.
No, you don't have to. That's just that's a better way to do it.
That's like if you die, they get
totally.
it.
Yeah.
Jeff and you get my silencer.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
So there's the process that I did is I just like scheduled an appointment at Cantrell Outdoors, and it's like an hour and a half long appointment. She schedules you for. I say she because that's his like staff analyst or whatever you want to call it. It's a receptionist or whatever. So I make an appointment. I go up there. And then you got to make an account with the ATF. You have to do all the ATF government stuff. Then you do fingertips or fingerprints. You do all 5 fingers on your right, all 5 on your left. You go through all that stuff. You submit it. Once they accept it, then you can actually start the process of waiting 10 days for your silencer. And then once that passes, then you can go grab it. So
so you purchase it first.
Yep.
You buy your silencer.
Yep.
And
And
then
it goes to your FFL?
Yep.
And then you do all that. Okay.
So I did everything online through Silencer Central.
Mhm.
And so I went through Silencer Central, found, because they sell cans. So I bought my can through them. And then that kickstarts the process. And it's like, okay. And so I chose, they were running a special on free tax stamp and free trust setup is why I went that direction. And so I have them setting up the trust for me, blah, 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 blah. So I did all that paperwork. They mail me the fingerprint card, and I fill out that card, do all the fingerprints, send it back to them. I just get text updates, and they're just like, yep, we received it, blah, 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 whatever, it's been submitted. And then I scheduled you schedule a phone call with them where they walk you through some more the trust stuff and blah, blah, blah. And so I have that call scheduled for next Monday. And they'll just call me. Well, it's like a 10-minute phone call. You go through a couple little things to get everything else set up. And then it's just, I'm in the waiting period for the ATF.
Nice.
So, and then once the ATF approves it, that gets sent straight to Silencer Central, and then they'll just mail out my.
So it's not too painful. It's just time.
And then they'll just.
Does it have to go to an FFL still?
Nope, because they're an FFL.
Oh, so it'll come to your house.
Yep.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Then you don't have to wait the 10 days at the FFL because they're already hanging on to it.
Yeah, they're hanging on to it for those 10 days.
That's an interesting way to do it.
So then it can just ship straight to me. I'm sure I'll have to sign for it and blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
So just like if you buy ammo online or something like that, you have to sign for it. But
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like we've done both routes, and both of them were pretty painless.
It's been pretty easy. I called and talked to a buddy who'd done it online, and I was like, I'm doing this right. I'm not missing a step, right? I was like, I didn't want to buy a silencer before doing that stuff if I wasn't, I was like, do I pay for this thing now before? And he was like, yep, just pay
That's
for
what
it.
kickstarts everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
and I got approved from the ATF in like 14. I can't remember exactly what, 21 days maybe.
it was short.
It was quick, man.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then he just said, "Hey, you got approved. Come down and grab it." And I literally just walked in and grabbed it.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
No.
I'm curious how it's going to be like in the woods when you guys shoot it, game.
Yeah.
Like, am I going to see a difference of them like spooking or
Mm-hmm.
no earplugs?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the one thing for sure is the earplugs. Like you don't have to wear them.
Yeah.
Compared to yours now, Austin did say yours is insanely loud. Yeah. But we know we've shot with brakes for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's like
no big thing.
if you get used to
I just
throwing in
wearing them on my
earplugs,
neck.
yeah.
It's not bad.
If you get used to like we all wear the ones just like right around our neck, and you just get used to throwing them in. That's just part of your shot setup process.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The only thing is like if you were gonna have that like offhand jump shot,
Right.
you're gonna be ringing.
I'll just let them ring.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Jeff and I wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Yep. That's like kind of the big difference with the Ear Pro for me. Because if
Yeah.
we're laying down and getting prone, it's nothing to just go bloop, and
Mhm.
slap them in.
Yeah. Yeah. The one thing that I'm like nervous about is my rifle is going to be heavy. It's a big rifle now
We
because I
got
got a
a
big optic
telescope.
on it. Yeah. I got a spotting scope on top.
Yeah.
I got I got a very large optic on top. I got a suppressor out there now, and then just like a bigger action. Like just it's not a small action. I don't know how much you save by going down to a long action or from a short action to a long action. It can't be that much.
Couple
but,
ounces.
yeah,
And now this long action is the lightweight version.
yeah,
So like
Titanium.
pretty similar.
basic is probably the lightweight long action is probably the same as our standard
Yeah.
short action.
Yeah.
I would guess it's
Yeah.
probably really similar.
And then the stock versus the short action versus the long action. Now they went to a gray bow on the longs. They were the
AG composite.
AG composites on there.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that rifle is right around like 10. I think, and I bet you my long action is going to be like 13. It's going to be heavy.
Freaking boat anchor.
It's big bitch.
It's gonna be like your REM was pre going to the benchmark.
Yep, agreed.
Doesn't
stock.
Brady say his is like 16 pounds?
Yeah,
Like 14
Like
to
he
16,
really
yeah.
likes a heavy gun, which makes sense. They're more accurate,
yeah.
Well, and you just don't have the recoil. You're gonna watch
Recoil.
it
Totally
impact.
just
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he shoots a freaking 300.
300
rum.
rum. Yeah, yeah. Big bullets for big guys. But no, I'm excited for it. So it's something new. I gotta get rid of that juju. I'm gonna throw that thing to the fucking wood chipper.
Why?
We were driving back from Turkey, and Zach brought it up, and I just opened my door, and I got it out. He died laughing.
Like 70 miles an hour, just door opens.
I'm out.
He was like, we were just talking about it. He's like, dude. I was like, I know, dude. I think about it all the time. And it got all quiet, and then I just went. It was so funny.
Good.
So funny.
No joke. Like sometimes I think about that shit, and
Dude.
I'm just like, oh, it hurts.
Dude, sometimes it's like 4 nights a week for me.
You think about the misses, the ones that got away, like all that kind of stuff. Oh, it never stops hurting.
No, dude.
It sucks.
Yeah. You guys will see it soon enough what the hell I'm talking about. I just don't know how to put it out there yet. Yeah.
All right. Well, this one.
You want that gun?
I only flossed my teeth with that 12 gauge.
Oh boy.
This podcast went from
Just got
really funny to really dark.
I know it's funny. Like we're surrounded by a bunch of dead shit and awesome memories, but you hold on to the what ifs so hard.
Dude, remember the first year we went to Colorado? You came back and you pinned up your unnotched tag for like 3 years.
Yeah, it sat right there. Dude.
You would not stop obsessing over.
No.
I didn't fill my Colorado tag.
Yep.
It's like, but you could have. And
Yeah,
you're like,
we had lots of
and you're
opportunities.
like, yeah, but I did it.
Yeah.
Just like so mad.
Yeah,
about it.
and that one that you and I both watched, like a nice 4-point jump a fence into public land, and he was up there pushing does around, and Bob was already tagging out, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And we're like, "It's day 3, blah 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 blah." Yeah, looking back, and you're like, "Shit!" She went down there and killed that. Yeah, I think it was a nice deer too. Yeah, you just hold on to those missed opportunities or the.
I think that was like our first big out of state hunt, and
It for sure was.
So like eating that tag felt worse than like it does now. You know, like now that we've like gone out of state more and like we know that we're gonna get to do that again.
Yeah.
It's like okay, like it doesn't hurt as bad.
Well, and man, like for 20 hours on the drive down there, we were just like looking at like 170s.
We had high expectations of Colorado.
Every time, even Montana, would you shoot this? And we're like, it's like a 160.
Yeah. Yes.
Come on.
The first day we shoot 3 points. Like, what are we talking about?
I know.
For real, man. Like, that's a 132-inch 4-point, and I just was like, yeah, man.
Red line.
Yeah, dude. So funny, man. Yeah, we get in our heads on the way down there. Like, yeah, I'm basically Jason Carter.
Yeah, on our 0-point Colorado tag.
Yeah.
Oh, are you gonna pass on this 160? Probably.
I hear they're everywhere in the snow.
Yeah.
I'm falling in the mud chasing spikes.
Throwing the rifle over the hood. Somebody stop him!
Give me a range! Give me a range! Bob, it's 100.
Oh, yeah.
Point and shoot.
Montana, give me a range, boys! Bob, it's fucking 70 yards.
Hey, that was a Warrior 3-point.
I go, Bob, you sure you want it? It's really small.
No, he just like, you're like, there's a deer, and he just goes, who's shooting it?
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Like, do you want it?
Yeah, Jeff and I were sitting there, and I'm like, oh, there's a deer. And I'm like, oh, it's a small buck. And you're like, do you want it? And we're just like, no. And Bob's like, who's going to shoot it?
Yeah.
We were like, no one, Bob. It's small. And he goes, where's the gun? He just fucking
sprinted.
He's like an Olympic athlete hurdling dead ball to get the gun.
He fucking comes back.
Get a range, boys.
Man, we were 5 miles from the truck, too.
Yeah.
So funny, man.
It's so good.
Such good memories.
And after the day before, you passed on 4 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did.
Closer to the truck.
I held strong for like 3 days.
4 points closer to the
And then
truck.
I started to get the panic of like, oh, we're not seeing much. Here comes a freaking
Panic with 9 days left.
7 days.
7 days left, probably.
I shot on Tuesday.
You shot on day 2.
Shot on Tuesday.
Yeah, it was
So
like
Like
that
our
is.
second day of hunting, I think.
yeah.
Okay, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, leave Saturday night.
4 whole days left, Bob.
Come on, guys. I remember like the first spot
Oh
we
my
went to
God.
after that.
Yes.
When we were still figuring it out. So
Yes.
we knew they were on private.
Yeah.
But Bob spotted a big 4 points. He's like, I did it again.
Yes.
So mad at
I
himself.
did it after you could have shot that buck that walked out in front of us. Remember?
Which one?
It was right before you shot your
Oh, I remember. I was on the other side.
spotted it. It came out of this coulee
Oh,
like
yeah.
300 yards in front of us and just paused. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
He's like, where's that shotgun? I never saw him. Was he a pretty good buck, too?
yeah, like white antlers, but nice, decent sized 4x4.
Yeah.
He was a 4x4?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw him just long enough, just couldn't get lined up on him and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
I'd guess
Bob,
probably in the 150s.
Yeah, Bob could have. lined up.
What?
Right?
I don't know.
Okay,
if he was
150. He was big.
He was probably 140 to
He's
150.
bigger than my biggest buck,
Oh, yeah, that
which is
hurts.
145.
Yeah, that hurts, man.
Yeah.
I never got to see him.
He saw him the best, so like I don't know. He saw
If-
him before me.
Perfect world, and you had a tag in your pocket. Could you have shot him?
Yeah.
You think so?
If I had a range, yeah.
He was like 300 yards away.
Yeah.
Like, straight down. When
So
I
he was
when I saw
coming
him.
up like away from me like this,
Mhm.
and then he didn't turn for a good minute, and I could have stopped him, and he did stop and look at us for
And then did he hear you guys
10,
fumbling
15
around?
seconds.
And then he
Yeah.
did the. Or
yeah,
did
and
he
then
just
he
kind of
started doing this, and then it was the I'm out of
yeah,
here.
typical.
Yeah.
Me, I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah. Damn, that place is crawling with deer, man. Because I was on the other side, like doing the same thing,
Yeah, you were doing
spotting deer left and right.
jumping jacks to get my attention.
Yeah. And then that final, the one you end up shooting, man, I just love that. Sun's kind of coming up, they're in the shade, and then I just like glass, and then all of a sudden you have like 10 deer in your frame.
Well, and didn't a nice buck run right by you guys?
Yes.
It was small, but yeah.
a buck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a buck. It was like a 3-point.
Yep. And then the first time I went over there, when I went over by myself and I sat down in glass, I saw a buck over there, like frame kind of going over the hill, and that's when I came back and got Zach. I was like, hey, I just saw a nice buck. Nice buck. I don't know what he was. Came back and got Zach. We lay down. Here comes a 3-point right up out of us.
Man.
And then he goes back to you, and that's when that happened, when you saw the big 4-point. And then I go back over there again and spot the one he shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to come get you guys, and then I remember he like,
I want to go back in there bad.
it's me too.
Yeah.
So freaking
both,
bad.
Both sides of that ridge were just
Oh, it was lights out, dude.
loaded with deer.
Yeah.
And it was the one day that we like did it right.
Yep.
We got up super early.
Yep.
We were like the first guys in there.
Yep. I remember like
We
one
walked in.
husband and wife or something was
Yep.
behind us.
Yep. And they kind of pulled off on a knob behind us, and we kept going. And
Yep.
Yeah, we just had a great vantage, and
Yeah.
there was deer everywhere.
Deer everywhere. I think if we draw that again and we just go in like 8 miles, that's easy hiking. Just get in there and set up a nice camp, and I think we'd have a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we would.
Yeah, but we didn't get it. Son of a biscuit.
Next year, that's
Hopefully.
like guaranteed, right?
No.
No, it's not guaranteed. It's
I know
high odds.
I know
yeah.
2 people that didn't get it with 2 points.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. High chances that we'll get it, but
Yeah.
there's always the possibility that you don't.
Yep. I think that's probably like my number. I'd say Wyoming's probably my favorite state.
Well, yeah. Look at what you shot last year.
That's true. God dang it, I miss him already.
I would hope that Wyoming's your favorite state.
Yeah. The whole cow thing just really just.
Thanks.
Bob's like, I didn't feel bad about it, but now I do.
Yeah.
Hey, at least yours tasted good. You can say that yours was better than mine because you had half mine.
Was yours bad?
I
Was that a thing?
thought it was not great. Yeah.
Oh,
I remember it like stinking and just not like tasting great.
I just remember the bowls. Like, was it Jacob's? And
Jacob's
then-
was awful.
And then somebody else's.
Smunks.
Yeah.
Jacob and Smunks was not great.
Yeah, she tastes really good.
That's good.
My Washington cow's phenomenal.
That's awesome. Yeah, is that the summer sausage we got in the sausage? Not summer sausage, the
maple sausage.
Maple sausage, yeah.
And the summer sausage that I brought over too.
Yeah, she's very good. That's a good eating elk right there.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, Wyoming elk has not been great, but Wyoming deer for you.
Yeah, one of one so far.
Was great.
I mean, realistically, Bob and I are shooting, like, we're successful on out-of-state hunts. Our first time ever going there. So
yeah, successful, just not what
you
went there
You
for.
got close with archery. I saw a great bull, just didn't make it happen. You guys chased an awesome bull with a rifle. With a rifle, you guys had some chances too.
Yep.
Did you see that the guy who shot that one commented on the YouTube video?
He did.
The kid commented on the video.
7-year-old kid.
He said, "That's me and my son in the video."
Oh,
It's
no.
my 7-year-old son.
Easy. Yeah.
Yeah, me and my 7-year-old son.
Yep. So cool. I replied back to him and I was like, I was wondering if you'd see this. And I was like, congrats, stud bull. Like, what else do you say?
Yeah.
Can we see the bull?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woody tape.
Yeah, can you send us a photo?
I can reply back to that.
Yeah.
Send him our email and be like, hey, man, send us a picture.
We'd
of
love
that
to
thing.
hear, like,
and just say, like, like, obviously you saw it. We chased that bull the day before.
I don't want to see it.
And from now on, you must take us with you if we draw next time.
Yeah.
You want to see it, Bob? He said it scored 327.
I'm like, you're lying.
He just...
I'd guess him around 300.
Yeah, sure. I didn't get a good view of him, but he looks like a stud.
Frickin' elk, dude.
6 point, yeah.
Yeah, elk have been our nemesis, really, other than our 2 quality
Our
tags.
2 first time ever doing it, we were awesome. And then we just have very bad luck.
Yep. Yeah, it's been brutal. Waste 18 points on a bull tag, and it's the worst elk hunt of my life.
Yep, that
Terrible.
sucks, man.
Like,
Yeah, that's a tough hunt.
that one's the one that, like...
Wish you could have back.
Yes, I, like, think about that one, and it's like, it sucks so much to feel, like, bitter about a hunt and, like, spending those points. Because it's like... You talk to other people that live in other states, and it's like, oh, I have 18 points. And they're like, you're going to shoot a 400.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have, like, a phenomenal hunt.
Yeah.
You're going to have chances and all this stuff. Because, like, 18 points in any other Western state gets you, like, the best elk tag in the state.
Dare you spare somebody for applying that and say it right now?
Upper Smith Creek. Don't do it.
God bless you. God bless you.
Upper Smith Creek. It was my third choice. I didn't really want it. That's why it was my third choice. I wanted 2 others. And for whatever reason, with 18 points, I got drawn, and I had to take my third choice. And
So you regret doing the third choice?
for that unit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was hopeful for it because of, like, where it is and stuff. I was like, oh, there's elk in there.
We saw
Yeah.
a ton of bulls up top.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
not in that unit, and yeah, it was awful.
Well, and then the very last day, the elk finally came into your unit. And
Yeah,
that's
by
when you had the
30 yards. Yeah, they were on the boundary and fed into my unit by 30 to 100 yards was probably the deepest into my unit they got.
We did see the rifle tag holder's bull, and it was nice.
That was a 5 point, right?
Yeah, it was just a little 5 point.
Like a little.
It was
rag
one that I
5.
scouted before season.
Yeah.
Like I
Oh,
had
Was it
video-
small?
Yeah. And that was with a quality tag, right?
I don't know.
I think it was. I think
Probably.
the quality archery went, and then the quality rifle, and then you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were like the 1st of October.
Yeah.
And I think Muzzy was right after you. Those guys were coming. Like, saw him like scouting that road.
Yep.
And I think that like Zach said, there's elk in there.
Yeah.
Like there's elk in there. It is with a rifle. I think that Zach could have killed easily
Well, we didn't even see an elk in there until
the last day, but
those
you could have killed him.
any of those, I was within rifle range. I was 80 yards from the herd the last day, you know, and just couldn't pull a bull to me.
Yeah.
So I mean, that last day, the last whatever, was super fun, and like that's what I was
Hoping for.
more opportunities like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether I filled my tag or not, I wouldn't necessarily base my experience on
Dude,
that
if
alone.
5 days of hunting was like that, you wouldn't be bitter right now.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, hey, like that was super fun, and I just couldn't make it happen.
Yeah.
That'd be fine.
Yep.
But the fact that I got one,
You knocked an
stinking-
arrow once.
yeah, one stinking
In
opportunity.
9 days.
Yeah,
That hurts.
In 9 days for 18 points is rough.
Yeah, that's pitiful.
and
That's like honestly.
we covered the entire unit.
Yeah, and which it's small.
Yeah, it is. So like you literally can cover the entire unit.
Yeah,
we
we
heard
went-
like 1 or 2 bugles
That one
morning
Mm-hmm.
that we actually tried to make something happen. We heard him.
Yep. And then the last day.
They were
That's it.
going to. Yeah, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what that's the bed the lie in when you pick the East-West, because you never would have applied for those if you were allowed to apply for the whole state.
No.
You know, like you would have been like, okay, I'm going to hunt the west side, but I'm going to apply for, blank, blank, and blank on the east side, which that sucks, man. Like you want to hunt the west side because they have better over-the-counter stuff, but I want to spend my points in, the Cascades somewhere, like up over in Yakima Herd or the Ellensburg area or the Blues or whatever. Like that's where you want to go spend your points.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of shitty. So be careful. Be careful what you apply for, because you might get it.
Well, especially if you are going to add in those third or fourth options. Like make sure that there's something that you would actually like be excited about and you have more information on. The people that I did talk to, they were like, it can be good.
Yeah.
And so I was like hoping on that, but it was like, it wasn't.
Yeah. We were actually talking about the second, third, and fourth options today. Me and Bob were, and I was telling him about like the tag I drew last year. And I was like, man, make sure that's number one. And then I was like,
that's all I applied for.
I think that's all you should do. You might want to do the other one where we're, that one too, but we don't know much.
That's all I did.
So I don't blame you.
I was going to do a second, where we've seen them before.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah.
Yeah. That me and Zach were talking about that whole time when we were setting cameras. I was like, do we apply for this? And it's like, we don't know enough about it, and like I would hate to get it, and then we have the same thing as his bull tag. It's like
they're not here.
They're not here.
Yeah.
And we just wasted for you. Like you got 15 now, 14 or something like that. So yeah, it's just a tough one to swallow. So I know you're anxious and you really want to fill out those 4 options because it's like, hey, this is better odds for me. But make sure when you're applying and you're filling out those options that you would be happy with that tag, because you don't want to look back at it and go, I just wasted. Not only you wasted all those points, but you wasted all that vacation, that PTO, the scouting time, all of that. You could have been putting efforts into something else.
Yep.
And when you put all the eggs in that one basket because you drew it and you're like, am I wasting my time? You could have just went over the counter Oregon or whatever and had a better time, or whatever it may be. So yeah, when you have 4 options, it feels like you are forced to apply for them. You don't have to. Put them in for the one you really want that you have information on, and go with that instead of just like, oh, I'm just going to throw a second and third and fourth option in here. And then you get it, and you're bashing your head against a wall.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Learn from our pain.
Yeah.
Well, should we move on to some listener questions?
Let's do it. Listener questions, or do we have any, Bob, while you're digging those up, I'll talk to Zach. Do we have any other hot new pieces of gear that we're looking forward to? I know we covered the rifles. Anything else that you can think of that we're kind of switching up?
Switching up. Not that I can really think of. I'm not going to make too many changes from last year, really.
Me neither.
I'll have that Argali sleeping bag for a lot of the later season stuff again.
Yeah.
And then I'll use my quilt for the early season stuff. I am thinking about getting a new sleeping pad this year.
I had to get one. Mine went belly up.
I've been seeing a bunch of ads for a new Ceta Summit pad.
Ooh.
And it looks pretty good. It's a little bit lighter weight. So I might try that one and just kind of play with it and see if I like it. Because, I mean, those X-Peds have been great. We've had to patch holes, but, like, I've patched the holes and they holds, and it works fine.
Totally. Like, we've had to, like, in Trophy, me and you were in the creek and you found it for me.
Yeah.
Like,
You can make it work for sure. But, I've had that X-Ped for, I think this will be the 4th season of that one.
So it's done its job.
It's getting close to, probably being at retirement age.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at something else, and so I might try that. Other than that, I think I'm going to try a new Zamberlan boot for the early season stuff that can't talk about yet.
Ooh,
but,
spicy.
Going to try, at least test it out and see how I like it. So once I have that and kind of run it through some paces, we'll chat about it. But
nice.
Other than that, I mean, I'm just running the same gamut of boots. I have the Crispies. I have the
Laponia Light.
Yeah, the Laponia Light. I got the Zamberlan, Salath. That's what I was wearing for Turkey.
Yeah.
Another light.
Dude, whatever works.
Yeah. I mean, just the Kenetrex, still tried and true. My foot loves them. So a lot of the times, like this early season stuff, I've been wearing that boot to get my feet back into like hiking, side hilling shape, because I know that Kenetrek's not going to blister me or anything.
Yeah.
And then like once my feet toughen up and get like kind of worn in a little bit again, then I switch to some other boots. But
yeah,
other than that, I don't think I'm changing much.
Nice, man. What about Baba? What are you going to use for game bags this year?
We talking about that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the order's placed.
It's official, man.
Yeah.
Zach placed it.
The PNWild Tamarack game bag.
That's right, man.
Yep.
Yeah. We had them on display at Portland, and we had a ton of feedback about how awesome they were and where can I buy them.
Yep.
And we are stoked. Zach, tell us about the process. What are we looking around for turnaround time? When do we think?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long process developing these, which has been really fun. But yeah, place the order. Production should be done. They said 50 to 60 days from time of payment, basically.
Sure.
So production should be done June, and then it's going to be, shipping and things like that to get them in hand. So I would say once production is finished and we know that the shipping process is happening, pre-orders will open up on the website. It's kind of the timeline. So that mid to late June, pre-orders should open up for the game bags, for our kits, and we'll dive into more details on what that kit will come with, whether it's 4 game bags, 5 game bags, whatever. We're going to dial all that in, and we'll get all that info out once we kind of suss all of that out. But yeah, pre-orders should open up by the end of June, and then they should be shipping, hopefully right around Fall Bear opener. So a lot of that is dependent on shipping and tariffs and all these different things that have kind of sprung up is going to hopefully not put too much of a damper in getting these things here on time. But we've really been trying to get them by Fall Bear or at the very latest by September 1st.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's good, man. It's been, like Zach said, these have been working now this will be our second full year of kind of messing with them and talking about it and getting the idea on. It was hard enough to get the idea actually visualized and tangible.
Yep.
Where we had this idea and we've talked about it for a while, and then we talked to some of our partners and trying to source this, and they're like, this is a great idea. We'd love to. We started with one partner, and then they were like, we don't have the time frame for this, quite honestly.
Yeah.
We don't have time and efforts to put into this.
Yep.
So then we talked to another partner and just kind of getting this whole ball rolling, and then getting an actual product in our hand was a huge thing, and then actually testing them and breaking them. I mean, it's been a whole process. Like we've had a ton of different iterations. We've broken several buckles. Like we're excited where we landed. And we're just excited to bring these to the market, and I hope you guys use the crap out of them.
Yeah, that's definitely
exciting.
the hope. Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to get that going and get them like all in hand and like really starting to open up pre-orders and you know, based off of what we saw at Portland, the interest and things like that, we're really excited to get them out there to more people than just those who saw them in Portland. I think I think once you guys see them and we start doing some informational stuff about them as far as like reels and all that kind of stuff and really putting them out there, we'll do a YouTube video on them and all that kind of stuff. I think you guys are really going to like them. It's a pretty cool system. It's a cool game bag, and it makes, at the end of the day, we did this as a convenience thing.
100%.
It makes it easier for the end user to get their game bag hung up and back down.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
which in reality sometimes is a pain in the ass.
Yes.
Yeah. Like,
you got weight hanging in there.
Yeah, totally, man. Like, let's just go back to like seeing it through Tamarack. Anything that a game bag is tied up for a long period of time, all that weight just tightens that knot.
Yep.
And then 9 times out of 10, I'm so lazy, I'll just cut the damn thing, and then my game bag is useless anymore, right? So we kind of eliminated that. Cold fingers, snowing. 2-person. Like, you don't have to have 2 people anymore.
Solo.
Yeah. I
yeah.
used the one of our little samples this year. I used it on my bear that I killed by myself.
Totally, man. Yeah.
Hung up quarters, took them down, back and forth.
Super quick.
Super
Not
easy.
saying that you couldn't have done that with the drawstring. It was just a pain in the butt. Let's be honest.
It's just quicker and easier.
Yeah.
That's all that it is. It's less headache for people.
Yeah, we didn't reinvent the game bag. We just added some real convenience factors. And like a lot of the feedback was like, straight up, that's just fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
You know,
Just
from a ton of
easier.
people. Yeah, a ton of people that just, because we had it on the very outside of our booth in Portland, and, you know, it gets 70,000 people throughout the week. And just hearing people walk by that have no idea who we are, it might be fishing people or just like people are going to be like, hey, that's a great idea. And then they'll just walk away. Or you get the guy that, you know, comes up and taps on the shoulder and be like, hey, can I get a package of game bags?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, they're not for sale, man. They're just on show. And like, oh, okay. Where do I get them?
Yeah. Well, let me know when those things are available.
Exactly.
That's a smart idea.
Yeah,
it's cool to see that everybody's as excited as we are.
I know, man. Yeah, and I think that it really just adds a ton of convenience, and I think that it's just going to help out a bunch in the backcountry getting, especially L cams, man. Those are just freaking heavy and a pain in the ass to move around, and just be able to like lift it up and unbuckle it and just throw it in your backpack. Like it's convenience, man.
Yeah, it is. So super excited to get those, and obviously we'll all be running those all year round.
Yeah,
all year round
can't wait to abuse that. But let's just be honest, Zach. If they sell out, you can go full time. Yeah. So let's sell them out.
Yeah, please buy all of them. I will not go back to work. I'll just keep ordering more game bags, and I will package them, and I will ship them every single day.
Yes, with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, really excited for that project to kind of come to fruition now.
Yeah.
See it all happening. It's exciting.
To be able to go through like all those steps and to watch something release, I'm just excited for it. Because this is like our first, we did the knife, right? And I guess that kind of as we did R&D on that one too, but this one's like a whole nother level of that. Yeah. Like a ton of R&D on this one.
A lot of back and forth, picking fabrics and materials and paracords and this and tags and
buckles.
Buckles and straps.
Dude,
and
placement of the freaking logo. The logo itself, it was just like weeks of like, which one do we want? You know, like where do we put it?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Does it need to be reflective or is it not reflective? Like,
and it's reflective.
Yeah, of course. Yep. Well, fun stuff, guys.
Yeah, Bob.
Looking forward to that. Bob, hit us with some cues.
All right.
We're at an hour and 10.
Ooh, we gotta hurry.
20 minutes.
Yep,
all right.
20 minutes.
How you liking the 7 PRCs versus the 6.5 PRC? Are you getting slower than expected velocity?
You guys know that.
So Jeff and I are fortunate enough to have a buddy that shoots like PRS and all that, and he's actually doing a load and setting it up for us, but he is getting 2950 to 3000 with our 7 PRCs, and our 6.5 PRCs are shooting in the 28s.
Yeah, like 2750 to 2850, kind of right in there.
Right in there. So,
and for you, Bob, you're shooting a 40 grain heavier bullet out of the 7 PRC versus the 6.5.
37 grains heavier, going faster. So, the 7s are shooting faster.
Yeah,
shooting faster and a bigger bullet. Like that 7 PRC shooting a 180 burger, like I would not want to be on the receiving end of that.
No, that thing's just going to explode.
That's going to hammer some shit, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, stoked on the 7
so
PRC.
Answer the question.
I do love the 6.5 PRC, though. That's a great cartridge. It's performed awesome.
Yep, I've loved mine, too.
Yeah.
So
you're not disappointed?
No.
In the speeds?
Nope.
Cool.
No, it'll be interesting to put ours side by side, because I got a 7 PRC as well, but I'm going to shoot factory loads, like the 175 grains.
Out of a can.
Yeah, out of a can. And so it'll be interesting to see
yours
our
will probably
speeds.
Be faster.
Yeah,
you got a lighter bullet with a can, longer barrel. Like it should be, unless Austin's got yours like hopped up, right?
Yeah.
Which hand loading, that is the cool thing. You could have 77 grains of powder from Austin because he could see like your your stress marks, and if you could push the limits with that, where the factory might just go safe and just say, hey, this is going to be 71 grains.
Yep.
And then so
it'll be interesting to see that.
Totally.
Yeah. All right. When do we get to see Jeff's whitetail hunt video from last year?
Fuck. Yep. Next.
No timeline?
No timeline.
All right.
I'm working on it. We got to do. I got.
There's some production with this one. Like we're gonna do some talking head, like kind of interview style, stuff to help tell this story.
Gotta hire
more.
a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Jeff's got to pop some pills first. It's more involved than our usual.
Yeah,
films.
it's not a turkey vlog. It's not a Wyoming vlog. You know, it's something that I want to. It means a lot to me, and it was a special hunt and some very particular events happened in this one.
It was a roller coaster.
Yeah, and I want to portray it in a way that I hope you guys understand where we were coming from, and I want to explain what happened to my best of my ability, because I'm putting the company name out there. And I mean, long story, I lost a great buck, like a once in a lifetime buck. And when you're hunting, stuff happens. I lost the animal, but I want to portray this the proper way. I don't want to just rush it out there because we want to release a video. So it's just a lot more, like Zach said, it's a lot more involved. I want to tell a story, and I want to portray the company and myself the way that we see fit.
Well, and as you can tell, there's some emotion involved in this one. So
it's a heavy one, man.
Yeah, it's more than just a hunt film at this point.
Yep.
So
okay. How does the Washington special hunt and raffle hunts work? Any guidances on what to apply for?
So special hunts we kind of talked about. The raffle hunts are totally different.
I've never done the raffles.
I haven't either.
Either have I, but we know how they work.
Yeah, the raffles, it's just you can go through, you can see the list, and like a single species is like $6, let's say, and the multi-species is $20 or whatever. Maybe it's 10 and 20. I don't know. It lays it all out for you.
Deadline
in the
for that's
regs.
like July 15th.
Yep, and then you can just buy as many of those as you want.
It's a true raffle.
It's a true raffle. So if you are really wanting to buy a bighorn sheep tag, and they have one in, the Yakima Canyon or whatever it is, and you want to really try for that, you can dump as much money as you want into buying those raffle tickets to try and almost guarantee. You can't ever guarantee it, but you can damn near guarantee yourself
Casey
winning.
Brooks?
Yeah. You can pump as much money into one of those raffles as you want to give yourself the best chance possible.
If you got the money, do it.
If you have the money, that's a great way to put tags. They have some crazy raffles that allow you to shoot a lot of animals.
The North Central Cascades is like a deer, a sheep, a goat, or whatever the hell, a whitetail, a mule deer, a goat, a sheep. There's all sorts of cool shit.
You can get one that gives you an additional whitetail buck, an additional mule deer buck, and an additional blacktail buck.
Yeah.
So then you could technically shoot 4 bucks in a year, because you'd still have your regular buck tag license as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of kind of interesting shit out there, and you can look on the WDFW website as those raffles are open, and
what bucket's full.
Yeah, and see how much money, how many raffle tickets have been sold for every one.
Yeah.
And like, if you really don't care what you want, like, you could go after a single blacktail buck tag or whatever and dump $5,000 into it and try and draw that. Or you got lots of options. You can look at all that stuff. It's all available.
Yep. And then to cover the limited entry tags again, we have a YouTube video on it. It's called How to Hunt. Watch that 2-part series with part 3 and 4 hopefully coming this summer.
And sign up for GOHUNT Insider. Use code PNW.
Yep.
That's right.
All right, another one. How is Robbie so big?
Drugs.
He drinks badger milk.
He drinks badger milk and
Cheats.
he cheats. Yeah.
No, that guy's just an ogre.
He's just it's in the fucking water down in PL.
Specimen.
Yeah.
Could we ever see here a PNWild podcast with Patrick? Just a check-in would be rad.
That would be cool.
I don't think he'd do it, but
I don't know.
Might be weird.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know if he'd do it or not.
One boot rule them all. What's everyone's favorite?
That's a good question.
That is a good one. Pick one boot.
I'll go first. I think
mine.
right now, like my one boot, if I was going to just pick one for the entire season and be totally fine, would be the Crispy Valdrez 2. I got it last season, and I was really, really happy with it. I wore it in Wyoming, like basically out of the box, and did the whole Wyoming trip with 0 hotspots. It was incredible.
You liked them better than the Laponia?
I do. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. They're a little bit heavier, more bulkier.
Aren't
So
they
that's-
insulated?
I don't think they were.
Oh, okay.
I have to
I
look.
thought maybe they were like the 200 gram, like a small amount.
No, we were waiting on our insulated ones. We were gonna.
Oh, that was like the Schmuck
or whatever. Yeah, the fucking Schmuck.
Never mind.
Yeah. Bob?
Zamberlin Lynx 1214 GTX.
I thought you were gonna say the Kenny.
No, those Zams.
The Zams are your number one, huh?
Yeah, early season into like later, maybe not snow.
Yeah.
Although you could.
In Wyoming, when you guys went back with the rifle, what'd you wear?
Kenetrax.
Did you?
Mountain
Okay.
Extremes, yeah.
Okay.
Just because there's snow on the ground.
Yeah,
They're a little
yeah.
more stout. They're not insulated, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more bulky of a boot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got you. Zach?
I'm trying to look up the name of that Zamberlan that I got last year.
Okay. We'll give you some time.
Yeah.
What's your second favorite, Bob? Is it the Kenny?
Yeah, I like those Kenetrek Mountain Extremes. I also like the crispy altitudes.
Yeah. That was more of like your early season boot, too.
Yeah, lightweight, just like a tennis shoe, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I wore that basically all of like when we were setting cameras and stuff like that, and then we went turkey hunting. I just bought the altitude.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that boot a lot. It's a lightweight, like you said.
Yeah.
But once you start getting into like October, like maybe like high buck, I wouldn't wear them.
No,
you're
my toes
asking for
fall
trouble.
off.
Yeah, yours. Since like we got such good feedback on the Instagram post, we should talk about that on the pod one time.
Sure.
Yeah. Mine are the Zamberlan Mountain Treks. That was
Mountain
what
Treks.
I got last year, and it's the stiffest boot I've ever ran.
Yeah.
And I ended up really, really liking them.
Really?
Yeah, they were pretty big, like beefy boot, but like other than just running like trail, like, you know, flatland trail stuff, like anything technical, they're the best boot I've worn. Anything steep, shale, stuff like that.
Mountain Trek?
Yeah, the Mountain Treks. I loved them. I also love the Kenetrek Hard Scrabble. Those ones are just so like melded to my foot now that they're...
Dude, you wore them for like 100 miles without a sole. Yeah. That's a good boot.
My foot loves that boot. You know,
God.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I know.
So, but yeah, those two are my top two by far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Good question. Thanks for that one. That
Yeah.
one's fun.
Is Zach planning a big time off stretch to hunt his ass off like last year? How's the leg?
I mean, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's
the
We
goal.
weren't joking about the game bags.
Yeah.
Sell those out. He's going to go full time.
yeah. My leg's fine too.
Yeah.
No problems there.
You can get a tattoo right next to the incision.
People said
You
like I
should.
should get
A
the
knife.
knife tattooed into it.
You
see.
fucking should.
Yeah. But the leg's good, all healed up and good to go. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it also depends on what we draw. If we don't draw shit, then there's no reason for me to take off, you know, all that set time.
Yeah.
You know, like, but hopefully we draw a bunch of shit and it's necessary.
Yep. I think that also too dictates on like what our game cameras get in the next couple months.
Oh yeah.
I think things might change if our game cameras yield
What we were hoping they yield.
Yeah. Zach, you might fall off the face of the planet.
Yeah. No one will hear from me.
I'll have to check in for you guys.
Yeah. I'll be living in the woods at that point, and I'll look like a
God,
crazy person.
I hope.
That would be cool.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. Does being fit help you kill more deer? I'm gonna say a
Read
more.
the rest of it. I already read this one.
That's weird. But okay, anybody
the guy is commenting on Bob's physique that they all saw when he was in Hawaii. Because he's shredded right now.
Yes, he is. He's very lean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got that six pack.
Thanks, bro. But anyways, being fit, I think you're going to be a better hunter, right?
Yeah. I think you're going to recover better from like hikes. You're not going to be as sore, you know, like the next day after a big hike in. You're not going to be as sore. You're going to be able to pack that animal out with a lot more ease.
I mean, it's a really easy comparison. Like, look at Cameron Haynes.
Mm-hmm.
Is Cameron Haynes going to be more effective in the woods versus, I don't know, pick some giant person that's in the public eye?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Pick somebody. Jack Black.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be more successful in the woods? Hunting, backcountry hunting. Cameron Haynes or Jack Black?
Mm-hmm.
You know, compare that right there. Yes, obviously your health and your physical status is going to benefit you in the mountains in one way or another.
Yeah.
Like Zach said, it might be some way where you can't tangibly look at it and feel it and assess it, but your recovery is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to sleep and recover and not be sore in the next morning, not to have a hurt knee in the morning, not to have a hurt back, a tweaked back, whatever it may be.
Yep.
It's going to help you in one way or multiple ways in the backcountry. 100%.
Yeah, so more fit and more healthy you is going to make you a better hunter.
Absolutely.
No matter what your level
is.
is.
No argument for that.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys should do a sleep systems breakdown. I bet Jeff's in a -20 down bag.
Jeff has a video talking about his sleeping bag.
Plug it.
Yep,
Yeah.
I do. Check it out. I think it's like a sleeping bag shootout on our YouTube channel. I think I review the Kuyu. I do a Big Agnes, and then I do the X-Bed, and then all side by side. The X-Bed is my actual... This is always weirdest. Like, I don't know how to say it. is it the warmest bag or is it the coldest bag? Like that one always throws me off. My Kuiu is a 0.
I'd say warmest.
Which is the coldest, right?
It's rated for
the coldest. Yeah.
Okay.
So
you'd have to throw the rated in there.
Okay, yeah, it's rated. That's a good one. I'm just a retard. So it's rated. My Kuiu is rated for the lowest temperature. It's the Kuiu. It's a 0 degree. My X-Bed is rated for the warmest, which is a 15 degree, and they are very similar in like bags. And I think that the X-Bed holds its weight against warmth for sure. I've never been cold in it. Mm-hmm. Like when we did trophy and we were way back there and it's cold, I was in the Kuiu, but I think I could have got away with the X-Bed. Mm-hmm. But I do a sleeping bag shootout, and it's on our YouTube. Check it out.
When's the whitetail hunt going to drop? Talked about that. How is it looking going full time? We kind of talked about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely the goal.
It's definitely the goal for all of you out there. Like we just had a conversation with a business partner today, or one of our partners today, and that is the roadmap for the viewers, listeners, watchers, fans, whatever. We are pushing to become full-time at PNWild. Like obviously it's been, at the light at the end of the tunnel that we can see for years and years and years, and it's kind of been a pipe dream, and it's like, oh yeah, wouldn't that be cool? Oh, well, wouldn't that be cool? And it would be cool. And then it's approaching, and we're actually like trying to plan it out and make it a reality. Zach, kind of many of you may know, Zach went like quote unquote full-time last fall and was able to just do all business stuff, and it helped out a ton. Like if you guys saw the YouTube channel just banging right at the turn of the year, that was all because Zach was out there in Idaho and your cow elk hunt and just a lot of stuff turning behind the scenes. So yeah, we're trying to figure it out and make it happen, but we all still have like mortgages to pay, and that's the tough part.
Yeah. Just stop paying them.
Come get them, bitches. That's funny. So yeah, no, seriously, use a code podcast and buy some shit.
Also curious about different hunting strategies for Merriman's versus Rio turkeys.
No,
Merriam's versus Rios.
No idea.
I don't think it changes. I think I would just still go and then shoot them.
Yeah.
Get them strutting.
Yeah.
However that may be.
Yep. Roost them.
Yeah.
And set up underneath the roost area.
We're basically pros.
Yeah, I'm really good.
Yeah, I like to actually challenge myself and jump them in their beds.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, not on purpose, guys.
Yeah, no.
I missed the story. Talk about Zach's shed hunting with all the people for gate opener.
Oh,
yeah, how'd that go?
It was fun. Didn't find any this year. Tried a new area. Didn't go back to Oak Creek.
Yeah.
I went to the...
Do you regret not going to Oak Creek?
I mean, no.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Still new country.
Yeah, it's still new country. It all looked good. Like we were in elk sign. Like I'm sure they were around. And
who was
we?
Did you go with Leah or did you go with?
No, I met a buddy actually, a guy who came up to us on my elk hunt when we were at camp. The brothers, Brandon and Michael Miller.
Oh yeah.
And Michael Miller hit me up and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be going," and I was like, "Well, let's meet up and go." So we met up and went and wandered around. I was like, "Shit, 4 eyes better than 2." Wandering around. So,
that's cool.
So yeah, we met up and went over there and tromped around and did. I don't know. We did 2 big kind of loops in big areas and probably did 10 to 12 miles each and.
Sick.
Didn't find any. That other spot is way less hectic than Oak Creek.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oak Creek is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And part of the madness of Oak Creek is fun.
Yeah,
because
totally.
I don't really care that much if I find a shed or not. It's just an added bonus.
Yeah.
But watching people lose their minds over it is really entertaining for me.
Yeah.
Fighting over them.
Yeah, this one was much calmer. I got there at 3 a.m. and I was still the 50th truck in line.
What?
Whoa. Yeah. So,
are people staying the night there though?
Oh yeah,
Can you do that?
Oh yeah, there was people camped in the parking lot, and then there was a bunch of people with trailers in line where they just literally drove in through the gate a few hundred yards, and then they were setting up camp, and they were going to be in there for the week for the weekend.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
That's cool.
It's just an entertaining time to get out.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
And
was that it, Bobo?
Last one was just, are you guys ready for the Pink Salmon Rodeo?
Oh.
So Pinks are running this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we'll be fishing for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always fun, especially if we get the invite from Nate, go out and take the kids and stuff and catch some salmon and go enjoy the sound. Like that's fun. We're trying to integrate a lot more stuff, like in being full time. We gotta get creative and integrate more stuff to our YouTube channel and just our portfolio. And, like whether it be pictures or whatever, we just need to be out and getting content and just having fun outdoors and promoting. That's what like our YouTube channel is sportsman dedicated to showcasing the beauty and the bounty of the Pacific Northwest and beyond. And that is what we're trying to do, and that's the pillars we want to stand to. That's turkey hunting, that's salmon fishing in the Sound,
trout fishing with your kids,
trout fishing on lakes, it's deer hunting.
If you guys got a badass sound boat and you want to take us out pink fishing, let's do it.
Yeah, we won't say no. Hey, we're really good at buying snacks, right, Bob?
Yeah. Filling coolers.
Yeah, filling coolers, buying snacks. Yep. Cool.
I think that about wraps it up.
That does it.
Yeah.
Cool. Like I said,
beef jerky.
Get you some.
You got a code for that?
Yeah, code is PNWild.
Will that save money?
It will.
If they try to buy stuff?
It will.
Anything from High Country.
Anything from High Country.
Like meals, coffee.
Coffees, jerkies. Yeah. They have seasonings. They got all kinds of stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
They got at-home jerky making kits with seasoning and stuff. So if you're like an at-home do-it-yourself guy, they got kits for that.
Yeah.
So, head on over to highcountry.com. Use code PNWild.
That's awesome.
I'm a dork.
And if you guys want one of these smoking ass new hats that Zach just got all delivered and ready to go on the website, just use code podcast. You'll save some cheddar, and Zach will get that out to you ASAP.
That's right.
Until next time, we'll see you on the mountain.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
You like to do it yourself?